Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'd like to thank all of those who have taken the time to subscribe. A small channel like mine will not grow without your continued support. Please pardon the fighter jet. I live 2 blocks from an Air Force base. Today I would like to talk to you about a video I first released on the 2nd of May. It was called Paperwork. That video got 31 views. Not the greatest in the world. Not a topic a lot of people really want to spend much time talking about. Paperwork. On December the 2nd, I posted a video telling you that I've had to make major changes to my design. And as a result of those major changes to my design, I've had to redo about 90% of the paperwork. In May, I showed you a pile of paperwork. It's now December. That's the new pile of paperwork. And I can almost guarantee you it's going to get bigger rather than smaller. In the last video, I talked to you about some of the things that I need to purchase. Most of the things that I need to purchase, which falls under paperwork, like it or not, come to about 6,000 Canadian dollars. I showed you one list of priority. Here's another one. And this list here is how I pay for the list that I was referring to back in December. But that's not the thing you have to take away. The takeaway from today's video is how paperwork can save your butt. One of the things that I did, as I've told you several times, I had to redo my entire electrical. So I had to go through the orders that I've got placed, the stuff that's sitting in North Dakota and the stuff that's sitting in my son's house. What do I have? What should I have? I want to make sure that I don't spend money buying something I already have, because I've done that in the past. When you get to the point where you got more stuff than you really know what you've got, that creates problems. This is where this pile of paper comes in. And through that pile of paper, I found out that one of the pieces and parts I needed for my solar system that's critical, I only had one of. Well, how did that happen? Well, that came about because I was working with a Toyota Hilux truck and an Alucab canopy camper. And at the time I placed the order, I only needed one MPPT charge controller and one cable to join. It's actually a pair that you need to join 2 solar panels to get them to run down one wire. Well, now I have 2 MPP controllers, one here, one in Canada. I have 6 solar panels sitting in there, but I got one cable. Had I not gone through my paperwork, I would not have found that omission. It wasn't an error, it was an omission. When you only have one MPP controller, you only need one set of cables. One cable hooks up to the positives, the other one hooks up to the negatives, and they both come down and they go into your disconnect, and the disconnect connects to the MPPT. Life was good. Now I made a change. I've gone to a different design. I've gone from 2 panels to 4. I've gone from 900 watts maximum, had I got the Trina panel, or there's 2 Trina panels actually, I would have had, what, well, let's call it 1,000 watts. So I've gone from 1,000 watts up to 1,600. Plus I've got 2 spares. So if push comes to shove, I can buy another MPP controller and run these other 2 panels as ground panels. But you don't find that out if you don't do your paperwork. So even though paperwork is something that people don't want to do, it's critical. It's absolutely critical. Because of Richie from Jailbreak Overland, I now have ready to be ordered a replacement compressor for the one that, actually I've got 2 of them here. And what's going to happen is the Extreme Air Magnum compressor is going to go on the tank of a horizontal Campbell Helsfeld that I bought secondhand in the 1980s, the motor of which I have sitting behind the camera because the motor's 110 and that thing's heavy. There's nothing wrong with it except the switch broke. The switch broke in the on position, thankfully. But the compressor works fine. The motor works just great. But it's 110 and now I'm going to 12 volt, which means I have to reconfigure the box that this goes into, because the compressor goes into the box on the back wall of my truck. And now all the shapes change. Now all the framing members change. Now all the cross members change. Now I've got to re-weld in new gussets and supports because nothing's the same anymore. And my box doesn't sit level with the floor and go up 5 feet. It starts from the top and comes down because I've had to wedge the back end to get my departure angle right. That's one of the reasons it took 3 weeks to redo all that paper. I've had to redo the whole back end of my camper because I've made one change to one item. But it wasn't one item. It was 4. You see, most half-ton, 3/4 ton, 1 ton trucks carry a spare tire under the deck. And you take part of your jacking mechanism and you fold out the crank handle and you put it in a slot and you turn it and you lower a cable winch system, and that's how you get the tire out from underneath your vehicle. Well, I decided to do something slightly differently. I'm going to take out that winch system completely, repurpose it, and where my spare tire used to go, I'm now running a gray water tank. That's another one of the modifications I've had to do. That's why I had to change all my paperwork. So for those of you that get a little sick and tired of me harping about paperwork, guess what, guys? Ain't gonna stop. Learn from other people. There's a video that I have out called The Power of the Internet, where I explain things like Chris and Angie, for example. They run on YouTube as The Outfit, Run the Winch, Grizzly and Bear. They've been traveling all over the world. I'm one of their Patreon supporters. Andrew St. Pierre White, absolutely fantastic channel. I'll probably be taking his videography course. I'm a stills photographer. I ended up shooting film. I started shooting film when I was about 8. Video is something I'm trying to learn. And I'm not working at it very hard because I'm trying not to work on my video because I know the stuff I need to buy and I don't want it to distract myself from building the truck. I'm at the point now, as I said in my Power of the Internet video, where this is a push year. This is about gathering up all the stuff that I can gather up and get ready to go. Because of my pile of papers here sitting on the chair beside me, when I open the container and I reach inside, I can pull out 2 cables to connect all 4 solar panels together so everything works, without having documented everything we do. You're going to find yourself short a part. And there's nothing worse than having to shut your project down because you don't have a part. I spent 34 years working for a mining company. Some of it on surface in the smelter, but most of it underground. I'm a licensed industrial mechanic. And I've seen heavy duty equipment because that's what we work on. Even though I'm industrial, we work on heavy duty. Because heavy duty was not recognized at the time I took my apprenticeship. I've seen pieces of mining equipment sitting down for a 50-cent O-ring because we just didn't have one. And when you lose a truck or you lose a drill for a week because of one little Mickey Mouse part, especially those that are proprietary, boss isn't too happy with you. You've got to keep up on your paperwork. You've got to keep up on your maintenance. If you don't keep up on your maintenance, you're going to be like a buddy of mine who called me this morning and showed me the universal joints on his Toyota Harrier, or a Lexus if you're in North America. Just beat to nothing. There was nothing left of everything. Things were so bad that once they got the U-joints out and the new ones in, they actually had to weld the new U-joints in because the little ridge that the keeper springs go into wasn't there anymore. That's because somebody didn't keep up on their maintenance. That's because the previous owner didn't keep up on his paperwork. And with that, everybody, to those that have subscribed, again, I say thank you. A small channel like mine does not exist without your support. My videos are going to drop down in terms of how many I put out, simply because I'm at the point where I really have to put a stinger in my hand and start welding again. But that won't happen for another year. Shipping stuff back to North America right now is so expensive. Economically, it's killing me. I need to stay here one more year and build. And that's what I'm going to do. As the new parts come in, I'm going to shoot another video on these 2 new parts, and they've changed the game completely. And with that, everybody, have a great day. Spend time with your loved ones, because once they're gone, they're not coming back. And for those of you who are alone at Christmas, hey, stay strong. Christmas is a hard time for people who are out on their own, but we'll get through it. I'm there too. If it wasn't for my dog, it'd be a slightly different situation for me. Have a great day, everybody. We'll catch you on the next one. God bless you, and good night.